But let's not forget the IT component. So with that, I'd like to introduce John Mason, who will present our IT issues to consider. John has over 25 years of experience in financial services, internal audit, information security. He's held positions such as Chief Internal Auditor, Chief Information Security Officer for multi-billion-dollar credit unions as well. So with that, John?
Great, thank you. With the IT, certainly one area that's impacted, especially with people working remotely, is user access. So some of the modifications you're going to want to do and take a look at during the crisis is, how is your remote access secured? Hopefully it's with a VPN or something like this. Who needs it? Is it provided to everybody or just to those people with a need? And also, how long is it going to be needed from there? In particular, you want to be paying particular attention to periodic reviews, such as quarterly user access reviews. That is, who needs access to the network and the IT resources. And then annually, or maybe even semi-annually, depending, the user permissions review, with some people being unavailable or short-staffed. You may in fact be at least temporarily increasing permission. If this is the case, then certainly you may want to switch to at least a semi-annual review of the permissions. For system and network patching, as was discussed, you're going to see a lot of scams and malware appearing now regarding COVID-19, phishing and such as well. So you want to make sure that everything is patched up promptly from there. In terms of vendor access and compliance, you want to take a look at their SSAE 18 reports. If those don't sound familiar, then perhaps SSAE 16 or the old SAS 70, same thing. Within those reports, those are performed by a CPA, audits are performed by a CPA firm. Often you'll see them for payroll and also for your primary IT systems there. Within those reports, there's usually going to be a section called Complementary User Entity Controls, or QUICs for short. These are controls that the vendor requires of the customer, and that need to be implemented. Often you'll see them, like I say, for an IT systems vendor, often for HR, payroll, and perhaps some other vendors too. These controls need to be reviewed at least annually, and you want to make sure you document your review and compliance with each of these. Now, if a key vendor doesn't have an SSAE 18 report, then you probably want to go ahead and make sure the vendors receive give them a security questionnaire they should complete and then review. This helps you with your due diligence to make sure that everything is done the way it should be from there. In terms of physical access monitoring, certainly with the access badges, if you've got those in your organization, it may be that people are going to have more access, again, because of more limited staff from there. You do want to make sure that you are doing ideally a monthly or at least less than quarterly review of access logs. And pay particular attention to failed access attempts. It may be that somebody's trying to get somewhere or some resources they shouldn't be. In terms of door keys, certainly take a look at those as part of a standard review. Now, in terms of BYOD, or bring your own device, it may be that with the current situation, people don't necessarily the organization has not necessarily issued or have the resources to issue sufficient laptops and such to the staff. So with that, people may want to use their own devices. Often this is fine, provided that, one, you get a signed agreement from the users as to what they're allowed to use it for and such from there. You need to make sure that they maintain a minimum level of security that the CU mandates and can control. In terms of antivirus and anti-malware, some organizations actually provide this free to the employees to help make sure that there's a consistent level of protection when somebody connects to the network. It is possible, in fact, and I've seen it happen, where IT will configure the connections whereby when the person tries to connect up to the network, the system automatically checks the user's laptop or whichever to see if it does in fact have the most recent updates for antivirus, anti-malware. And if not, then it doesn't allow, it forces the update before it allows the connection. This helps certainly protect the credit union from there. Within BYOD, you also want to make sure your contract allows the CU to do a remote wipe of the device if the device is stolen or if the employee separates from the organization. This helps protect members' data privacy from there. And then lastly, you want to make sure that the BYOD also provides for using a virtual private network or VPN connection.